Hello. This week we answer a question from Umut in Turkey.
Hello, this week we answer a question from Umut in Turkey.
I would like to learn the difference between each other and one another.
I would like to learn the difference between each other and one another.
Thanks in advance.
Thank in advance.
Dear Umut, thank you for writing to us.
Dear Umut, thank you for writing to us.
The pronoun each other means that every member of a group of people or animals does something for or to the other members of the group.
The pronoun each other means that every member of a group of people or animals does something for or to the other members of the group.
Imagine you see two neighbors passing on the street.
Imagine you see two neighbors passing on the street.
As they pass, they wave and say hello. You could say,
As they pass, they wave and say hello. You could say,
Carlos waved at Ishmael.
Carlos waved at Israel.
Ishmael waved at Carlos.
Ismail waved at Carlos.
but that is not the easy way to talk about what you see.
But that's not the easy way to talk about what you see.
Instead, you can say,
Instead, you can say,
Carlos and Ishmael waved at each other.
Carlos and Israel waved at each other.
let us take a look at more examples of how we use it.
Let you take a look at more expenses of how we use it.
I heard the cats fighting with each other last night.
I heard the cats fighting with each other last night.
The teacher asked students to help each other in their groups.
The teacher asked students to help each other in their groups.
In some cases, you can make a possessive pronoun from each other by adding an apostrophe and the letter S.
In some cases, you can make a possessive pronoun from each other by adding an apostrophe as the letter S.
The children walked two by two, holding each other's hands.
The children walk two by two, holding each other's hands.
At Christmas, the family gets together and opens each other's gifts.
As Christmas, the family gets together and opens each other's gifts.
You asked us to compare how we use the expression one another.
You asked us to compare how we use the expression one another.
I read in one dictionary that some English speakers use one another when talking about three or more members of a group, while using each other when talking about just two members of a group.
I read in one dictionary that some English speakers use one another when talking about there or more members of a group while using each other when talking about just two members of a group.
If that is the case, then you would find statements like this.
If that is the case, then you would find statements like this.
The baseball players all shook hands with one another after the game.
The bass player or shook hands with one another after the game.
Andy and Raina are always joking with each other.
Andy and Raina are always joking with each other.
But I do not think that many of us follow that rule.
but I do not think that many of us follow that rule.
Instead, we use one another in careful or polite speech or writing, and each other in more casual speech.
Instead, we use one another in careful or polite speech or writing and each other in more casual speech.
Or writing, and each other in more casual speech. What question do you have about American English?
What question do you have about American English?
Send us an email at learningenglish@voanews.com. And that's Ask a Teacher.
Send an email at learningenglish at voanews.com. And just ask a teacher.
I'm Jill Robbins.
I'm Jill Robbins.